This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Newton versus Newton. I noticed that you all have been married for 10 years and that there's almost a 10-year age difference between you all. And you are here, Miss Newton, seeking the truth. Tell me why you're here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here because I want to find out if he's cheating on me.
Okay.
'Cause I see signs of the earring that I found in his car.
Okay.
He said,
I will presume it wasn't your earring.
No, Your Honor.
Is that the earring?
Yes, ma'am.
What, now, it wasn't earrings or?
Two. It's a set.
Well, Ms. Newton, if he found them, you wouldn't have seen them before, right?
Yes.
So it's very possible they found them and wanted to give them to you, right?
Well, that's what he said. He found to give them to me.
But you don't believe him.
But I don't believe him.
All of that has made you think something's going on here.
Yes.
Your woman's intuition is going ding, 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 ding,
Yes.
ding. All right, Mr. Newton, she said she got some things she's seeing. What's she seeing?
Well, I never seen the earrings never in life. I didn't even know where these earrings even came from.
Okay.
But did you find them?
Yes, I found them in my car.
And when you found them, what did you do?
I just gave her these earrings so that make sure that she was cool with the situation.
She
and
wasn't.
She wasn't.
Uh-huh.
And
So
I
you
found
didn't
it.
try to hide it. You didn't try to. You came,
No.
hey, I found these earrings.
I found
Okay,
these earrings.
Mr. Cutler, how some earrings gonna get in your car unless somebody dropped them or left them?
That's probably what happened. But what he's saying
Who dropped the earrings? There it is. Who dropped them?
Nobody. I don't know where these earrings came from. I never even seen these earrings a day in my life.
Okay, so what woman was in your car?
Right.
If it
No
wasn't
woman.
her,
That part.
what other woman was in your car?
There's no other woman
That
that's
part.
ever been in my car.
So I don't have any answers.
Well, we're
I
gonna
think
find
I'm
some
still,
answers.
but I think I'm still right, Mr. Cutler.
You always think you're right. That's nothing new.
So you have these warning signs.
Yes.
Is there anything in your relationship that highlights or make these warning signs
Well, we
more
had
important?
difficulties in the past.
Can you tell me about the past cheating?
Well, I was on my way to my grandmother's funeral, and a situation happened. He's supposed to went with me, but he couldn't go. But while I was out there, I had the same feeling, and when I came back, it was a lady I knew, and they did some things, you know, and she called and let me know. Like, she cried and told me what was going on, and she was sorry about it.
Okay, what was she sorry about?
Because they had sex.
Oh.
And this is somebody you knew.
Yes.
And she knew you were away at your grandmother's funeral?
Yes.
All right, what did you say to him?
Well, I asked him, and he told me no at first, and then when she called and told me the truth, that's when he told the truth. When you get that feeling, it's hard to let go and trust again. So I want to know if you still cheating.
So now you are having these warning signs, and that intuition is going ding, 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 ding
Yes, Your
again.
Honor.
You just haven't gotten a confession.
Yes.
All right, and that's what you're here for.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Newton, you made a mistake in the past.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did this happen?
Well, she was away, and, you know, I was feeling kind of lonely. I was down at the time or whatever.
I mean, she's at her grandmother's funeral.
Right. You're right.
This happened, and at first you lied about it.
Yes.
But then you decided to come clean.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what did you tell her?
Now, I wanted to be able to go forward with our relationship, so I told her the truth.
How did you all even get
She
together?
was coming over the house while my wife was gone.
So were y'all already having conversation before she left about
No.
I like you, you like me?
No,
Y'all just hooked up?
pretty much, yeah.
Woof.
Okay. You all got married, and you've been married ever since, correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's no way in the world that you would do something else to jeopardize that, right?
No, Your Honor.
But, well, why do you believe he's cheating now? He's saying ain't no way I would jeopardize this, but you think it is.
Because I went upstairs in the house and he wasn't up there. So I called his phone, he didn't answer. I called him again and he answered. I said, where you at? He said, at the store. I said, you ain't at no store because I'm at the store.
Uh-oh.
He said, no, I just left the store and walking up the street. I had family members sitting on a bench to watch one of the houses. So I told him to stay right there.
And why'd you do that?
Because I wanted to see if he was at the neighbor's house.
So you thought something was going on.
Right. So when he told me he was at the store, I went to the store. And I'm riding around the corner and I'm coming up the street. I said, I don't see you there either. And I could hear him running. I could hear him running through the phone.
Because you're still on the phone with him.
Right, I could hear him running.
Okay.
So the family member was like, oh, he just came out of there. He just came out of there. And it was a single woman's house.
You got three things going on at one time.
She's got surveillance going on.
Video surveillance, audio surveillance, and remote surveillance with a friend.
Right. And she's being an eye spot on the side. I'm like, you got this thing covered.
That's because, you know, when it happened the first time, it's hard to trust again. So that's why I'm like that. So he kept telling me he didn't do nothing, and he you know, and she said she didn't do nothing, but I want to know.
What you doing at her house?
Well, this is the first time I ever went over to the girl's house. You know, I met her in the apartment complex a while back.
So you were over at this friend's house hanging out?
Hanging out.
Okay, this female friend.
Yes.
Why'd you lie?
Reason why I lied, Your Honor, because I didn't want her to come over there to the house. You know what I mean? I was just trying to make sure that nothing would happen to this lady.
So you were more concerned with the lady than you were with what your wife would think?
No, that's not what I'm saying, Your Honor.
Well, nothing gonna happen to her. Something gonna happen to you, though. If you keep going over there.
Right.
If you ain't where you ain't supposed to be, that won't be a problem.
Right, because I told him if the shoe was on the other foot and I came out of single man house, how would you feel?
Right? And how would you feel?
I would be upset.
Yeah, you would. You'd be tight.
Upset.
So, Ms. Newton, have you found anything that makes you think he's cheating?
Yes. One time I had picked him up at 3 o'clock in the morning from his friend's house.
Not the same friend, is it?
No, it's a different one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a different incident. And I wondered why he was taking so long. So he came outside and I put my hand in his pants and it was silky. So I'm like, why does your stuff feel like you had a condom on?
Wait.
You said it was lotion.
Okay, we got demonstrations here.
Sure
Okay.
do.
What we got here?
I have the lotion and I have the lubricant.
Okay, so what was it that you thought you felt on his private?
Oh, lubricant.
Lubricant.
I know what I felt.
Okay, lubricant.
And when you asked him about that, what did he say?
He said it was lotion.
Okay, so
I told him lotion don't feel like that, honey.
So you got
And you can feel the difference.
you got lubricant and you got lotion.
I need to see that for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Well, you know, see,
That's the way it felt right there.
yeah, there's a difference. There is a
I'm
difference.
gonna take her word for it.
Come on, Mr. Cutler, get in the game.
I'll take your word for it.
And then I went in the house. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
there's
mad.
more.
I got upset. So I went in the house and I asked, who in here messing with my husband? And one girl sitting in the kitchen, the other one sitting on the floor. She's like, oh no, that ain't me, my husband right there. So I'm looking and the big girl, she ain't saying nothing, but she was froze. So I was mad.
Did anybody say he was with anybody?
No, they didn't say nothing. They was just quiet.
All right, Mr. Newton, you got a detective for a wife, okay?
For real.
And she sticks her hand down your pants and feels your privates and feels what she says is lubricant, not lotion. How do you explain that at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Your Honor, I don't remember her sticking her hands down my pants.
I stuck my hand in. I stuck my hand in
You
his
don't
pants.
remember that?
No.
I stuck my hand in his pants.
I gotta say, I think that's the kind of thing I would remember. You know,
Good.
if I came out of the house and
I stuck my hand in his pants.
In fact, if you called me at 3 in the morning to come pick you up, you remember that too.
yeah,
Because we'd have a
I
conversation.
mean, you had this discussion. She just jams her hand down your pants,
She didn't say she jammed her hand down there.
and you let her do that.
You don't have any recollection of that.
No, I don't.
Do you have a recollection of her asking you what took so long?
No.
Do you have a recollection of her going in the house?
No.
Okay, were y'all together?
You have a recollection of
Were
being
y'all-
married?
were you-
Okay, so what did happen?
Well, she called me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I told her, well, can you come get me then? So she came down to the house. I didn't have no problem with her coming out. If I was cheating, Your Honor, won't you think I would be not trying to let her in the house? So I let her in the house. I told her to come on in. You know, I don't got nothing to hide from you, babe. So she came in and whatever. She was telling me, well, I think it's about time for you to come home and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's time for me to go home. Let's go. So on the way going to the house, he was saying, oh, I wanted to go to the hospital to check you to make sure that you wasn't doing it. And I was like, I'm cool. I'm all up for that.
She wanted to take you to the
I wanted to take
hospital.
me to the hospital to make sure that I wasn't cheating.
Okay, did you tell him you were gonna
I
take
sure
it?
did.
I'm just curious. What you gonna say? Because they gonna say, what's your emergency? What do you say to that?
I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna make up something for them to check him.
You know, Mr. Cutler, I think we might have enough. What we got here?
Well, we've got cheating in the past,
Yes.
which he admitted to, and they apparently worked through that, but it's still in the back of Miss Newton's mind. We have the gold earrings that were found in the car that he came forward and gave to her, but she still wants to know, well, where they come from. And we have the lubricant on his privates.
Lubricant versus lotion.
Lubricant versus lotion. And we have him being at the neighbor's house and not telling her, and then, him trying to prevent a scene, which obviously has led to her suspicions that he's cheating.
All right, well, this court has done a complete and thorough investigation. At this time, the court would like to call former military interrogator Lena Cisco and certified polygraph examiner Kendall Schul to determine, is he cheating? Ron, would you escort them? How are you both?
Great, Your Honor. How are you?
We're good. So we conducted both an interrogation and a polygraph examination on Mr. Newton. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's right.
All right. So, Ms. Cisco, what did you do to determine about these gold earrings we've been hearing about?
When I asked the accused about the gold earrings, he became very animated. So he was talking with his hands. He actually leaned up into my space and he gave me direct eye contact. And with conviction, he told me, I have no idea where these earrings came from. I saw no signs of deception, and I believe he was telling the truth.
All right. But Mr. Schul, you also asked him, when your wife found gold hoop earrings in your car, were those earrings left by a woman with whom you had had physical sexual contact? What was his response?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Cisco, in your investigation, what did you determine happened regarding the night that he was with his friends, over at his friend's house?
When I started asking Mr. Newton about this accusation, he laughed out of embarrassment because he told me that he was embarrassed that this was going to come up in court. He admitted that there were about 4 or 5 girls in the house, but when I asked him over and over again, was he with a woman, with conviction, he told me no, he had congruent body language, and again, I saw no signs of deception.
And Mr. Schul, you asked him a polygraph question regarding that same evening, correct?
I did, Your Honor.
Right. You asked him, the night your wife picked you up from your friend's house and confronted 2 women in the house, did you have sexual intercourse with either of those women on that night? What was his response to that question?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being truthful.
All right.
I'm still not seeing a smile on Ms. Newton's face. I think she still needs to be convinced.
Okay.
What did you determine about Mr. Newton and this female neighbor that we've heard about?
When I asked him specifically if he had had sex with the female neighbor, he immediately leaned back in his chair and he crossed his arms and his right leg began to shake and he pursed his lips. When I asked again what happened with that neighbor, he said nothing. But as he said nothing, he shrugged his shoulders. So that is a universal sign for uncertainty. And as he did that, as soon as he ended, he flashed contempt on his face. It's that half smile that looks like a smirk. Oftentimes, after a person lies, they will flash that. And so in that case, I saw numerous indicators of deception, and I do not believe he is telling the truth.
So his mouth is saying one thing, his body's saying something completely different.
Correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Shaw, you asked him about the neighbor. You asked, have you had sexual intercourse with the female neighbor whose house your wife caught you leaving? What was his response to that question?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Newton.
That's crazy, man.
It is crazy, but what happened with the neighbor?
We never had sex.
Sexual contact, kissing, hugging, petting, everything but?
None of that.
You were asked one other question. You were asked, since you've been married, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your wife, Mrs. Newton? Mr. Shule, what was his response?
He said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive.
Ms. Newton, you came here for the truth. You've gotten at least those answers.
Well, I'm not okay with the lying. I just want him to tell the truth, because I would tell him the truth without him asking me.
You all have been together for 4 years, and Ms. Copeland, you have made some very, very, very serious allegations against Mr. Rosado. Why have you opened this case today?
Yes, Your Honor. I am here today because I feel like I am between a love triangle between my boyfriend and my mother.
So you believe your boyfriend is sleeping with your mother?
Yes, sir.
This is the most serious of allegations one can make. How does this affect your heart, your soul, your spirit?
It hurts. I went into foster care at a very young age, and this is the woman who raised me. This is the only mom that I know. And I've been with Nelson for 4 years. He's been around my child. We plan on starting a future together, having more children. So I'm hurt.
So this is literally the two closest people in your life.
Absolutely.
Your absolute support system. And you believe that your mother and your boyfriend are sleeping together.
Yes, ma'am.
My heart breaks for you. That you even having to have that thought. My heart breaks for you.
Mr. Rosado, those are some serious allegations.
Yeah, they pretty much are allegations. That's what it really is. It's just all in her head. In the beginning, me and her mom really didn't get along. But as time progressed, I just started to build a friendship with her mother because I believe every boyfriend should get along with their girlfriend's mother. But it's just friendship. It's not nothing sexual. It's nothing what she's trying to make up in her head. That's really what it is.
But you think that that friendship has crossed a completely different boundary.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the warning sign that you saw first?
About 1.5 years ago, I had to go to the hospital. I have really bad asthma, so I was in the hospital for about 2 days, and he took over the responsibility of dropping my mom off to work. When I used to take her to work, it would only take 15, 20 minutes max. When he takes her or picks her up, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And they'll hit me with several excuses, like, oh, we stopped to get gas, we stopped to get food, the car had a flat tire, stuff like that. And there's been occasions where she comes home and her hair is wild.
What do you mean wild hair?
Like, just had sex hair.
Mr. Rosado.
Yes.
Why are all these excuses about getting your girlfriend's mother home timely?
It's not excuses. When she used to pick her up, it would take 15 to 20 minutes, but she never stopped to get Spanish food. Do you ever go to a Spanish restaurant? The line is crazy.
So at the Spanish restaurants, do they mess up your hair also, or?
Nah, they don't mess up your hair. It's just, we don't got no AC in the car, so I put the windows down. And if you're going over 25 miles an hour, you know you're gonna hit some wind. I don't care how hot it is outside, you're gonna hit some wind.
But this is happening, is this all the time? How frequent are you experiencing her coming home late and they have an excuse for it?
The messy hair was only one occasion, but there's other instances where I believe they were together. There was one occasion he had asked me to renew the registration on his vehicle. So I went into the glove compartment to get the registration out, and I found a hair extension. And it looked very similar to my mother's hair extension. She only wears them on special occasions when she's getting all dolled up. I asked him about it. He said that he let his buddy borrow the car.
And this is a picture of it.
Mr. Rosado, why would her mom's hair extension be in your car?
That don't look like her hair.
But it looks like her hair extension.
No, it don't. Cause I lent my friend a car, and he's a single man. He's a wild boy. He likes to entertain women, so I can't stop what he does. My friend even called Serena to let her know, oh, I'm sorry, I left some hair in the car, blah, blah, blah. So she can understand
But you know man code.
So wait, did he call beforehand or he called after she confronted you about it?
He called before.
You got a call beforehand.
No.
No, it was after you had a conversation.
It was after I found it and I
didn't get that
accused
call.
him.
Service is bad, but he did call. He did call. I know he did.
Okay, so we've got the messy hair from the ride, and now we got the hair extensions. What else have you found?
There was one time Nelson and I decided we were gonna go on a date night. So I got all dolled up, dressed up, nice heels. We're gonna go to dinner and a movie, and my mom was supposed to come pick up my son. And my mom never came. She never picked up her phone. And I called Nelson. We normally don't speak throughout the day. We speak at nighttime, check in, talk to each other before bed. And that night he didn't call at all. And the next day I asked him what happened, and he said he was so tired from working a double that he fell asleep. And when I asked my mother, she said, oh, I was having a digital detox day and I turned my phone off.
So they went missing in action the same night?
The same night, and I stayed home with my son all dolled up by myself.
Mr. Rosado?
Yes.
I mean, this is date night. This is a night that's supposed to be with Miss Copeland. Why did you just disappear?
Yeah, but I got sick. I ate something in the afternoon. I think I got food poison.
Okay, when you're sick, you know, when I get sick, Judge Cutler takes care of me. So when you're sick, I mean, the first person you call is somebody who's gonna come and take care of you, right?
I didn't really want to bother her. So when I wake up, I see all the missed calls, so I call her back and I explained to her what had happened.
Mr. Rosado, are you sure that you were not out with your girlfriend's mother?
I'm positive about that. Definitely. I will never go out with her. She's not my type.
Well, Cutler, you know, there's a girlfriend side, the boyfriend side, and the girlfriend's mother side, and she's joining us from her hometown. Let's visit. Hello, Miss Water. How are you?
I'm good, Your Honor. How are you?
We're very good. Thank you for joining us. There are some very, very serious allegations being made by your daughter today.
So I see.
Could you please describe the relationship between yourself and your daughter's boyfriend?
Now it's fine. At the beginning, it started off a little rocky. I thought he was cocky. He was too into himself. He was too controlling, and I didn't like that. But we have gotten to know each other better now, and, you know, I think he's a nice guy.
You see?
So things are better now?
Yes.
Can you explain your disappearance on the night that your daughter and her boyfriend were supposed to have date night?
I was having a digital detox. I wanted to be disconnected from everything and just have a moment with myself.
How does it make you feel that your daughter is accusing you of sleeping with her boyfriend?
It makes me feel very bad. We cannot look each other in the eye. We don't call each other as often. Things are a little awkward at times, and it's very painful.
Miss Copeland, tell your mother how you feel about this situation, what this is doing to you emotionally.
It breaks my heart. You're the
I'm
only
sorry,
mom
baby.
that I know.
I'm sorry.
I just hope it's not true.
It's not.
Rips my heart out. That's the only person I ever loved and trusted. So, and I don't know where to go from here. I just need to know it's not true.
It's not true.
Ms. Warner, you can't see it, but your daughter is standing here in tears.
I'm very sorry you feel like that.
Have you and her boyfriend ever been intimate together?
No, sir.
You're sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rosado?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you, have you and your girlfriend's mother been intimate together?
If I could be honest with you.
Please be honest. Be honest with her.
Yes. Yes, we've been having sexual intercourse for the past year and a half now. And every time that we would take 45 minutes from picking her up from work, we was having sex in the car. When her hair was messed up, that's because there's no AC in the car, so we keep the windows up. Sweating, it gets messed up. The time of the tire, I took the air out of the tire. I took a picture, made it believe like it was flat, and send it to her so she could think that it was flat. Meanwhile, the tire was good. We were just having sex in the car.
Mr. Rosado, how do you end up sleeping with your girlfriend's mother? How did this start?
Yeah, I guess just being friendly, being a shoulder, listening to her. It was just like a fantasy I had since I was a kid of sleeping with the mother and the daughter. It's like a porn thing. It's kind of crazy, but it's something I really wanted to do. And now that I look back at everything I did, I just feel bad about it. But I hope we can move past that. Yes.
Miss Copeland, don't you dare take him back. He is a dog. Miss Warner, how in the world could you do this to your daughter, knowing the life she had? Knowing that you have been her only touchstone, the only person she could trust. How did you let this happen?
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, and I'm very sorry. We just started getting closer and closer, and we were amping up for it. And one day, when he was dropping me off from work, we just decided to go, elsewhere, and it just happened.
But over and over and over again, sleeping with your daughter's boyfriend. How do you explain that? What do you want to say to your mother about sleeping with your boyfriend?
I'm done. I don't want to continue our relationship.
No, baby,
you don't need to be around my son. I'm done.
No, baby, please.
I'm done.
Well, I know if you're done with your mother, what do you want to say to Mr. Rosado?
Goodbye.
Nah, we don't have to break it up. We can work on it, get counseling or something, therapy.
No.
I know I messed up, Your Honor, but we can move forward.
You don't go back from that.
Let's not get it confused. What her mother did was awful.
Oh,
it is gross.
No doubt.
It is terrible. It is the worst thing that a mother could possibly do to her child, to her daughter.
That's true.
Ms. Warner, I'm going to allow you to speak to your daughter. What do you need to say to her?
I'm very sorry. I want to work on us repairing our relationship. We'll never do this again. I just want us to be back to normal one day.
Miss Warner, are you in love with Mr. Rosado?
No.
You know what? I don't believe you. One is the hesitation, it's the looking off. When was the last time you had sex with Mr. Rosado?
Ask him.
Mr. Rosado, when was the last time you had sex with your girlfriend's mother?
Like 3 weeks ago, sir.
So it's still going on, basically.
No. I'm trying to cut that off.
Have you called her since then?
Just how you doing, that's it, but nothing sexual.
Okay, so you haven't cut it off. If you still reaching out to her, you haven't cut it off.
I want
Did you know you had been cut off, Miss Warner?
Not really.
Damn.
You know what? Y'all make me sick.
Because that look on your face is just not that I'm sorry, it's that I'm sorry I got caught. I'm sorry it's got to this point.
Not really. Not really, sir.
Let me do this, because I'm done. Miss Warner, thank you. Bye.
She should be mad more at her mom, not at me. This was just a fantasy, Your Honor. This is something that can stay in the past for me.
You set out to sleep with your girlfriend and her mother. You started complimenting her mother to tell her how nice she looked, how beautiful she was. This was all a calculated plan on your part, and that's why yours is more insidious than what her mother did.
Ron, throw him as far as you can possibly throw him. I had to talk to her. I had to get rid of the trash, okay?
They're both liars. They're pieces of both of them.
So baby, let me just talk to you. Unfortunately, you probably had to do a lot of stuff on your own. And sadly, you're gonna have to go back and do that. Do that again. Okay? I'm so sorry for you having to go through this. I can't imagine where you are, okay? I'm sorry I'm getting teary-eyed, but this is just terrible. And I wish it was something different for you, okay? But because of your inner strength and the power that you personally have to get to where you are, it's gonna be enough to get you to where God wants you to be, okay?